So then should we chant one round of japa together or just do Bhagavatam? Directly Bhagavatam without doing...
Yeah, because this is Bhagavad Purnima, right? So we should
right.
do Bhagavatam. This one sloka.
So we'll just do Srimad Bhagavatam for half an hour.
Okay.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayed Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for All session. We will have a short session today. We will directly do Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9. Wonder why? Okay. Canto 9, Chapter 5. We were reading Durvasa Muni's life spared. So we saw Durvasa Muni prayed to Sudarshan Chakra to give shelter to... Ambarish Maharaj prayed to Sudarshan Chakra to give shelter to Durvasa Muni, and he glorified Sudarshan Chakra in various ways, and Sudarshan Chakra was pacified and he stopped chasing Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni felt greatly relieved, and now Durvasa Muni is glorifying Ambarish Maharaj, and he said that I have seen today, I have experienced the greatness of Vaishnavas. I have committed offense to you, but still you have saved my life. Then we read 2 verses where he said, what is impossible for a devotee of the Supreme Lord? What is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up? So he said, I'm very obliged to you because you're very merciful to me. And he offered all benedictions to Ambarish Maharaj. Then how did Ambarish Maharaj respond? Ambarish Maharaj was very, very respectful to Durvasa Muni, and he requested him to take prasadam. He served him, with great hospitality, and Durvasa Muni ate sumptuously. And after that, Durvasa Muni told Ambarish Maharaj also to eat because he had also not eaten. And then he said that I'm very pleased with you, my dear king. At first I thought you were an ordinary person, but later by my own intelligence. So there we discussed by my own intelligence means because of the suffering that he had to undergo caused by the Sudarshan Chakras chasing him. By that, he got the intelligence, or his intelligence was awakened, and he was able to recognize the exalted position of Ambarish Maharaj. So earlier I thought you were just an ordinary householder, and like how sadhus go to householders' homes to deliver them. But actually, it is only later that I found out that you are not just an ordinary householder. You are a great Vaishnava, right? So it's not that I'm going to benefit you, rather, I am benefited by coming in your association because you are a Mahabhagavat devotee. Simply by seeing you, touching your feet, talking with you, I have been pleased and have become obliged to you. So, what did Srila Prabhupada say? How do we recognize a Vaishnava? Even somebody may be very learned, like Durvasa Muni, or he can be a very advanced yogi, tapasvi, or whatnot. But he can also mistake a Vaishnava. That means uh, Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vikeha na bujhai. Right? So a learned person cannot understand. He may be a very learned person. He may know all the subjects of this world. But still, he won't be able to understand the behavior of a Vaishnava. He can misunderstand, like Durvasa Muni did. Then, how do we understand a Vaishnava? Who remembers what did Srila Prabhupada say? How can we recognize a Vaishnava? We can recognize a Vaishnava by the mercy he has received by the Supreme Lord. How do you know that he has received the mercy of the Supreme Lord? By the inconceivable activities of a Vaishnava. Activities which are ordinarily not possible, but a Vaishnava is able to do inconceivable tasks. Uh, Like here, Ambarish Maharaj offering everything he had for the person who tried to kill him. So, inconceivable activities of Vaishnavas will reveal to us that he has the mercy of the Lord and that he is a great Vaishnava. So now we'll read the next verse. I think Achintadev Prabhu was supposed to start. Achintya Mataji read yesterday. कर्मावदातम् एतत्ते गायन्ति स्वः स्त्रियो मुहुः कीर्तिं परमपुण्यां च कीर्तयिष्यति भूरियम्.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept humble obeisance. All glories.
Please accept humble obeisance.
Sure.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Arunita.
All the blessed women in the heavenly planets will continuously chant about your spotless character at every moment, and the people of this world will also chant your glories continuously.
So, Durvasa Muni said, I didn't know about you before, but now I can see. How I can see? By coming in touch with you, I feel so pleased. And then he is now giving benedictions. When you're very happy, you want to offer some gifts. So all the blessed women in the heavenly planets will continuously chant about your spotless character at every moment. So you are so exalted. This is a benediction that what to speak of on this earth, in the heavenly planets, all the blessed women, right? The Gandharvas and all the ladies, that they will be constantly singing your glories. And the people of this world will also chant your glories continuously. So in the heavenly planets, then even on this planet, earthly planet, everyone will constantly be singing your glories. Sri Shuka Uvacha Evam Sankirtya Rajanam Durvasa Paritoshitaha Yayav Vihaya Samantrya Brahmalokam Ahaitukam. Prabhuji, Mataji.
Purport. Although Durvasa Muni went back.
Translation.
Sorry, translation. Sri Sukdev Goswami continued, thus being satisfied in all respects, the great mystic yogi Durvasa took permission and left, continuously glorifying the king. Through the skyways, he went to Brahmaloka, which is devoid of agnostic and dry philosophical speculators. Thank you, Mataji.
So in this way, after giving this benediction, so what is the benediction given by Durvasa Muni to Ambarish Maharaj? All the blessed ladies in the heavenly planets at every moment will be singing the glories of Ambarish Maharaj. Not only in the heavenly planets, but even on the earthly planets. Everyone will always chant the glories of Ambarish Maharaj. After saying this, Ambarish Maharaj left and went back. Where did he go? Thus, being satisfied in all respects, the great mystic yogi Durvasa took permission from Ambarish Maharaj and he left. And when he left, he was constantly, continuously glorifying Ambarish Maharaj. What a wonderful devotee! What a wonderful devotee! Ambarish Maharaj ki jai. Like this, continuously glorifying Ambarish Maharaj, he left. How did he go? He went through the skyways because he's a mystic yogi, right? He just went without an airplane or anything. He can just go away in the sky. So through the skyways, he went to Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is devoid of agnostics. Agnostics means, yeah, the previous level to atheist. Agnostic means they say God may be there, God may not be there, we don't know. That is agnostics. So there are no agnostics and there are no dry philosophical speculators in the Brahmaloka. So Durvasa Muni went there. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All blessed to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila
Mataji,
Prabhupada.
that sounded like Narad Muni, like he says Narayan, Narayan and goes everywhere. Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you, Mataji. Yes, I said.
Yes, Mataji. Okay. Although Durvasa Muni went back to Brahmaloka through the spaceways, he did not need an airplane. For great mystic yogis can transport themselves from any planet to any other without any machine. There is a planet named Siddhaloka, whose inhabitants can go to any other planet because they naturally have all the perfection of yoga practice. Thus, Durvasa Muni, the great mystic yogi, could go through the skyways to any planet, even to Brahmaloka. In Brahmaloka, everyone is self realized, and thus there is no need of philosophical speculation to come to the conclusion of the absolute truth. Durvasa Muni's purpose in going to Brahmaloka was apparently to speak to the residents of Brahmaloka about how powerful a devotee is and how a devotee can surpass every living entity within this material world. The so-called Gyanis and Yogis cannot compare to a devotee. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, so Durvasa Muni went to Brahmaloka through spaceways, and that point Srila Prabhupada said. We read it elsewhere also that those who are mystic yogis who attain siddhi in mystic yoga system, they can fly they can fly or they can just transport themselves to any place they want within this material world according to the perfection that they achieve. So just in a fraction of a second, they can just transport themselves. At the speed of the mind, they can travel. So there's a planet called Siddhaloka, where all the inhabitants have yogic siddhis. Like after perfecting the yogic yoga, mystic yoga system, they all these siddhas, they reside in Siddhaloka. So like that, Durvasa Muni, he's an accomplished yogi, Siddha. So he is also able to travel. But where did he go? Did he go to Siddhaloka? No, he went to Brahmaloka. Why did he go to Brahmaloka? He went to apparently, he went to Brahmaloka to tell them about the greatness of a devotee and how everyone should take to bhakti. He is a mystic yogi and he is going there that jnana and yoga are not as good as bhakti. They cannot compare to bhakti. And I have personally experienced, I have seen a pure devotee like that. To glorify Ambarish Maharaj, to glorify bhakti and a pure devotee, he went to Brahmaloka. That's the thing. And of course, in Brahmaloka, everyone is self-realized. That's the topmost planet of this universe. So even in the heavenly planets, people are in the mode of goodness. Higher planets, urdhvam gacchanti sattvastha. Higher planets means they are in the mode of goodness. And higher planets, also you have Janaloka, Tapoloka, Maharloka, Brahmaloka. Brahmaloka is the highest planet. So people are all self-realized. Even in Tapoloka, right? Yeah. That's why even at the time of annihilation, these higher planets remain. They are not annihilated. They are very advanced. So in Brahmaloka, people are already self-realized. Everyone is self-realized. Srila Prabhupada is saying there is no need of philosophical speculation there. They're already self-realized. There's no need to speculate about the absolute truth. संवत्सरोत्यागात्तावत् यावता नागतो गतः मुनिस्तद्दर्शनाकांक्षो राजा भक्षो बभूवः. Inba?
Mataji,
Yes, Mataji.
I missed my turn. I was waiting.
No, you were the last person who read yesterday, so we are continuing after you.
No, I didn't read Mataji yesterday.
You read purport, Mataji, yesterday.
No, India only Mataji read last yesterday.
I remember you reading the purport and you read very nicely. That's why I remember. Big purport.
Okay. Yes, I'm sorry.
I remember
yes,
also.
no, I remember. Yes, yes, sorry, Hare Krishna.
And it was a very important purport. That's why also I remember. And you read it very nicely. So it was nicely registered in my. And sorry for rushing because, I have to end it by 5:30 because that's the time and I wanted everyone to get a chance to read.
No
Inba.
problem. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Inba.
ma'am. Yes, Mataji. Durvasa Muni had left the place of Maharaj Ambarisha, and as long as he had not returned, for one complete year, the king had fasted, maintaining himself simply by drinking water.
Yes, so we know this, right? Durvasa Muni had left the place of Maharaj Ambarish, and as long as he had not returned for one complete year, the king had fasted. He didn't. He was just standing and waiting for Durvasa Muni to come back. And it took 1 year for Durvasa Muni to go to different planets, ultimately go to Vaikunta and then come back. And Ambarish Maharaj maintained himself simply by drinking water. Yeah. Wow. Text 24. Gate tadurvasasi sombadisho द्विजोपयोगाति पवित्रमाहरत् ऋषेर्विमोक्षं व्यसनं च वीक्ष्य मेने स्ववीर्यं च परानुभावम्. Inya?
After 1 year, when Durvasa Muni had returned, King Ambarish sumptuously fed him all varieties of pure food, and then he himself also ate. When the king saw that the Brahmana Durvasa had been released from the great danger of being burned, he could understand by the grace of the Lord he himself was also powerful. But he did not take any credit, for everything had been done by the Lord.
So another point here is, by the grace of the Lord, when one becomes a pure devotee, then the Lord shares all his opulences with the pure devotee. So the devotee also becomes as powerful as the Lord. Nevertheless, the devotee does not take any credit. It is all the Lord's gift, right? The Lord gives the power. So, yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana, right? So, Shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamomata. So, he is the best. In Krishna's opinion, a devotee is the best yogi. That means he has all the siddhis that a yogi will have. Nevertheless, you will hardly ever see a devotee exhibiting, showing his mystic powers. It doesn't mean he does not have. Why? Because a devotee is very, very humble. A devotee considers himself a humble servant of the Lord, and he considers the Supreme Lord his Supreme Master. And his only purpose is Anyabhilashita Shunyam. His only purpose is to please the Supreme Lord, to glorify the Supreme Lord, to serve the Supreme Lord for his pleasure. So therefore, even though he has all these mystic powers, he never uses them for his personal recognition, and if at all he uses them, he will only use them in the Lord's service. If required in the Lord's service, he may use them, but otherwise for himself he won't. Whereas those who are yogis, siddhas, they will show, right, their powers, how they are able to do this and that to get recognition in this world. So this verse is saying that Durvasa Muni could understand that Ambarish Maharaj, I'll read the translation again. After 1 year, when Durvasa Muni had returned, King Ambarish sumptuously fed him all varieties of pure food, and then he himself also ate. When the king saw that the Brahmana Durvasa had been released from the great danger of being burned, he could understand that by the grace of the Lord, he himself was also powerful. Oh. When the king, so Ambarish Maharaj, when he saw that the Brahmana had been released from the danger caused by Sudarshan Chakra, the king could understand that by the grace of the Lord, he himself was also powerful. So this is Ambarish Maharaj understanding, not Durvasa Muni. Ambarish Maharaj saw that Durvasa Muni is released, and he also knew that by the Lord's mercy, Ambarish Maharaj himself was also very powerful, but he did not take any credit, for everything had been done by the Lord. Okay, so let's read the purport. Mataji, Prabhuji are there? India?
No, Mataji. No, Mataji.
Isha?
A devotee like Maharaj Ambarish is certainly always busy in many activities. Of course, this material world is full of dangers that one has to meet. But a devotee, because of his full dependence on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is never disturbed. The vivid example is Maharaj Ambarish. He was the emperor of the entire world and had many duties to perform. And in the course of these duties, there were many disturbances created by persons like the Rasamuni. But the king tolerated everything patiently, depending fully on the mercy of the Lord. The Lord, however, is situated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya Chakram Hrivi Samyamishah, and he manages things as he desires. Thus, although Maharaj Ambarish was faced with many disturbances, the Lord, being merciful to him, managed things so nicely that in the end, Durvasa Muni and Maharaj Ambarish became great friends and parted cordially on the basis of Bhakti Yoga. After all, Durvasa Muni was convinced of the power of Bhakti Yoga, although he himself was a great mystic yogi. Therefore, as stated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 6.47, Yoginamapi Sarvesham, Madhvadena Antaratmana, Shraddhavan Bhajate Yamam, Samayuktata Mataha. Of all yogis, he who always abides in me with great faith, worshipping me in transcendental loving service, is most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Thus, it is a fact that a devotee is the topmost yogi, as proved in the dealings of Maharaj Ambarish with the Rasamuni.
So what do we understand from this episode? One lesson that we learn is Bhakti Yoga is the topmost. Because Durvasa Muni was an accomplished yogi, but he was defeated in front of a devotee. So a devotee is superior to even yogis. And of course, yogis are superior to jnanis and jnanis are superior to karmis, like that. But devotee is the highest yogi. That we understand. And this is even admitted by Durvasa Muni himself. Right? Finally, both of them became good friends on the basis of Bhakti Yoga. They became great friends. And they also parted cordially. Not that with enmity, with grudge in their hearts, they parted. No. And Durvasa Muni actually left glorifying Ambarish Maharaj, such a great devotee. And he had such great respect and appreciation for devotees after this incident. How great! I have personally experienced the wonderful qualities of the devotees of the Supreme Lord, like that. So let's read the first part of the purport. A devotee like Maharaj Ambarish is always busy. That part we understood. So in the course of his, he's the king, so he has many duties to perform. So while performing those duties, he has to face many difficulties, disturbances. So a devotee, even while facing difficulties and disturbances that are caused by non-devotees, he tolerates them. He tolerates them, depending fully on the Supreme Lord. But the devotee is tolerating, the Lord is not ignoring this. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart and he manages things as he desires. So whatever happens, and the devotee has this confidence that whatever is happening in my life, it is not happening without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. And if the Supreme Lord has sanctioned this, then it must be good for me. Why? Because he is the best well-wishing friend of all living entities. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is the best well-wishing friend. And I am the Lord's devotee. I am practicing devotional service. I am trying to surrender to the Lord. Of course, we are talking about surrendered devotees here. We are talking about pure devotees like Ambarish Maharaj. What is their consciousness? Even when disturbances and difficulties come, they tolerate them depending fully on the Lord, considering that these things are also happening by the sanction of the Supreme Lord. So it must be good for me. If the Lord is sanctioning this, it must be good for me. And the Lord is managing things. He is not ignoring anything. He is watching everything and he is managing things according to his will, the Lord's will. That's the point. The Lord, however, situated in the heart, manages things as he desires. And the devotee has confidence in this, that the Lord is in control. He is in control. If he is allowing it, then let it happen. If the Lord is allowing this to happen, then let it happen. It must be. The Lord must have some purpose behind this. Like that. But the Lord from his side was very merciful to Ambarish Maharaj. And he managed things so nicely that in the end, the devotee is glorified. He becomes the superstar, right? The devotee. So, in every case, you see, in every case, devotees go through difficulties, but in the end, they shine. You look at Prahlad Maharaj. How many difficulties he had to go through. But later on, how he's glorified. All the demigods, because Nishikadev was pacified only by Prahlad Maharaj, not by others. So he's glorified throughout the three worlds. Look at Srila Prabhupada. How many difficulties he had to go through. But in the end, the whole world comes to see. So, even when difficulties come in a devotee's life, and what type of devotees are they? They are fully surrendered devotees. In our case, we are not even fully surrendered. But someone who is fully surrendered, even in their lives, difficulties are coming. But how do they respond to those difficulties, disturbances, envious activities of non-devotees? They tolerate them, depending fully on the mercy of the Lord. And the Lord is managing it, sitting in the heart. He is managing it. He is letting it happen. He is letting it happen. Only to glorify the devotees, show the whole world the greatness of the devotee in the end. And the devotee also has confidence in the Lord. He lets the Lord treat him in any way. And the Lord is also managing things in such a way that in the end the devotee is glorified. So in this case, Srila Prabhupada is saying, although Maharaj Ambarish faced many disturbances, the Lord being merciful to him, managed things so nicely that in the end Durvasa Muni and Ambarish Maharaj became great friends. And the Lord gave some very important instructions to Durvasa Muni. When Durvasa Muni went to Lord Vishnu about a devotee and about the Lord's relationship with the devotee, he gave instructions. He sent him back to Ambarish Maharaj And Ambarish Maharaj, being a devotee, how nicely he treated Durvasa Muni. So after hearing the glories of a devotee from the lips of the Supreme Lord himself, and now personally witnessing the greatness of a devotee, Durvasa Muni's heart is conquered completely, right? And in this way, the Lord gives all glory to his devotee. And the devotee from his side is completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Like this. So, what should we do? Do you want me to end the class? Oh, there's more. I thought it's over. This purport. Okay. Now this is the next one. So, do you want me to stop the class here, or should we read a little bit more so others can get a chance to read also? It's up to you. I have time because for me it's evening, but for you, I don't know. Huh? What did you say? Little bit more. We have no problem there. Anybody please suggest? Should I end the class here?
More Mataji.
Or? Okay. Rasapriya. Read, your turn. Evam, 1 second. एवं विधानेक गुणः स राजा परात्मनि ब्रह्मणि वासुदेवे क्रियाकलापैः समुवाह भक्तिं यया विरिञ्च्यान्निरयांश्चकार.
In this way, because of devotional service, Maharaj Ambarish, who was endowed with varieties of transcendental qualities, was completely aware of Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And thus he executed devotional service perfectly. Because of his devotion, he thought even the topmost planet of this material world no better than the hellish planets.
So if you remember, at the beginning of the previous chapter, where we started off reading about Ambarish Maharaj's great qualities, Sukadev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj about Ambarish Maharaj's qualities. There it was said that even though Ambarish Maharaj was the ruler of the 7 planets of the Bhumandala, he was the ruler, so opulent, so much power, but still all that opulence, all that power and fame, he considered it to be of no value. What to speak of this just Bhumandala, but the whole universe, he thought it's just like a stone or something, little pebble. Because he thought all this opulence is just like a dream. Only a foolish person will be attached to the opulence that he's enjoying in a dream. So Ambarish Maharaj didn't give it any, he didn't consider it to be of any value, all the power and opulence that he had. How was he able to do that? Because of his devotion. That was also said there. How he, with his every sense, right, all his senses were engaged in the service of the Lord. What he did with his eyes, with his nose, with his, tongue, with his hands, legs, like that we read about Ambarish Maharaj's devotion. So because of his devotion, he thought even the topmost planet of this material world to be no better than hellish planets. Then by such bhakti, he was able to realize Bhagavan. One who realizes Bhagavan, he automatically knows Brahman and Paramatma. Just like if you have $100, you automatically have $10 and $20. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan are not different. They are not 3 separate different identities. It's just a partial realization of a person of the absolute truth. A partial realization is Brahman, and little bit more than that, which is still partial, is Paramatma. And the full realization is Bhagavan. Even in Bhagavan, the complete understanding of the absolute truth is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna in Golok Vrindavan Dham. That's the complete understanding of Bhagavan. Ambarish Maharaj knew Bhagavan, Paramatma and Brahman. So because of devotional service, again, the important point is how was he able to realize the Lord? Again and again, even in Bhagavad Gita we read, who will know the Lord? Only one who receives the mercy of the Lord can know the Lord. Who will receive the mercy of the Lord? One who is Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. One who is engaged in constantly in loving devotional service to the Lord. Such a person will receive the mercy of the Lord, and only one who receives the mercy of the Lord will know the Lord. And Ambarish Maharaj knew the Lord. And knowing the Lord means automatically knowing Paramatma and Brahman. So this whole pastime of Ambarish Maharaj and his dealings with Durvasa Muni reveal to us the exalted position of a devotee, the exalted position of devotional service. Okay, so let's read further. In this way, because of devotional service, Maharaj Ambarish, who was endowed with varieties of transcendental qualities. Also, when one is a devotee, all the good qualities of all the demigods, they take shelter in a devotee. Whereas someone who is not a devotee, how many ever good qualities he may have of this world, material world, but actually he has no good qualities. In other words, if he is not a devotee, he cannot have any good qualities. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna. Right? How is it possible that someone who is abhakta, who is a non-devotee, how is it possible for him to have any good qualities? So therefore, because of devotional service, Ambarish Maharaj was endowed with varieties of transcendental qualities, not just good and bad. Good and bad are material, but he had transcendental qualities. And he was completely aware of Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. And he perfectly executed devotional service. And because of this, even the highest planet in this material world, he considered it to be insignificant or hellish. Sonia Mataji, you can read the first paragraph of the purport. I'm not able to hear you. You are unmute, but I can't hear you, Mataji. I don't know if you're reading or not. Sonia Mataji, you're reading? Maybe you can send a chat message. Okay, let me see. Oh, we can't hear you, Mataji. Check your device, your speaker, microphone. So maybe I can come back to you later, Mataji, just because we're losing time.
Did you call me?
No, I was talking to Sonia Mataji.
Mm.
Yes, Mataji. Okay, Sonia Mataji. I'll continue with Usha Mataji and Medha are not here. So Neelambari Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. You can read the first paragraph, Mataji.
An exalted pure devotee like Maharaj Ambarish is in full awareness of Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. In other words, a devotee of Vasudeva Krishna is in full knowledge of the other features of the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized in three features: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavan iti Shavdate. A devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, knows everything, everything. Vasudeva Sarvam iti. Because Vasudev, Krishna, includes both Paramatma and Brahman. One does not have to realize Paramatma by the yoga system. For, for the devotee, always thinking of Vasudev is the topmost yogi, yoginam api sarvesham. And as far as jnana is concerned, if one is a perfect devotee of Vasudev, he is the greatest Mahatma. Vasudeva Sarvam iti sa Mahatma Sudurlava. A Mahatma is one who has full knowledge of the absolute truth. Thus, Maharaj Ambarish, being a devotee of the personality of Godhead, was in full awareness of Paramatma, Brahman, Maya, the the material world, the spiritual world, and how things are going on everywhere. Everything was known to him. Yashmin, Yashmin Vigyate Sharvam Evam Vigyatam Bhavati. Because the devotee know Vasudev. He knows everything within the creation of Vasudev. Vasudev Sarvam iti Samahatmat Shudurlabha. Such a devotee does not give much value to the highest standard of happiness within this material world.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Should I stop here or read the verse also?
Stop here, Mataji. We'll go to the
Okay,
next.
thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So, Ambarish, so as we discussed already, a pure devotee knows Krishna, and one who knows Krishna, he knows everything else. So, the absolute truth is realized in three features: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So, does it mean that when we are worshipping Krishna, first we have to realize Brahman, and then we have to realize Paramatma, and then we will realize Bhagavan, Krishna? Is that how it works? No, it's not like that. But if you are worshipping Krishna, it is understood, and when you actually realize Krishna, when you know Krishna, when will you know Krishna? When you get the mercy of Krishna. When will you get mercy of Krishna? When you render Ananya Bhakti. Then you will understand Krishna. If you understand Krishna, you automatically understand Brahman and Paramatma also. So, in order to realize Brahman, do you have to take to Jnana path? And in order to realize Paramatma, do you have to take to the Yoga path? No. You have to do only Bhakti. By doing Bhakti, you will get the perfection of all other procedures. Even people who do karma to get some prosperity in this world, that is available to a devotee, because simply by doing bhakti you will get. Bhakti is capable of giving you the results of all other processes, whether you want advancement, prosperity in this world, or you want liberation, whatever it is, everything can be attained simply by doing bhakti. So bhakti means here pure devotional service. Of course, when one is doing pure devotional service, he will not aspire for these things. He understands Vasudev, so then why will he ask for any material benediction like going to heavenly planets or getting some siddhis or going to Lord Brahma's planet? He will not have any interest or attraction to these material results. One more point is, a devotee is the best yogi, that we understand from Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana. Devotee is the topmost yogi. Devotee is also the best jnani. How? Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. A jnani, after many lifetimes of living the life of a jnani, when he gets perfection, jnanavan mam prapadyate, then he will worship the Lord. And then when he worships the Lord, what is his realization? Vasudevaha sarvamiti. Everything is Vasudev only. Such a Mahatma is very rare. This type of a Jnani, after attaining perfection, when he realizes that everything is Vasudev, such a Jnani who is a Mahatma, it's very rare. That means the perfection of Jnana is to realize that everything is Vasudev. And when one realizes that everything is Vasudev, then he is called Mahatma. But a devotee from day one, when he worships Krishna, we study Bhagavad Gita according to the purpose of a devotee. Then what do we understand? We understand Krishna's energy, external energy, internal energy, marginal energy. What is remaining then to know? You understand Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So if one knows Krishna, he will know everything. Nothing is remaining for him. Like Krishna tells Arjun, what is that verse? 7:2. Jnanam teham sa vijnanam idam vakshyam yasheshatah yaj gyatva neha bhuyonyaj gyatavyam avashishyate. After knowing this, nothing shall remain for you to know. Krishna tells Arjun. Right? So a devotee, when he knows Krishna, then nothing remains for him to know. He knows everything. Therefore, devotee is the greatest jnani. And he is the greatest yogi. So the bhakti is the highest. Devotee is the greatest. That's the point here. Next. Who read just now? Nilamri Mataji read. So Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, and then Saujanya Mataji, and then we will end after that. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Then me, Mataji, last.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Narayana para sarve na kutaschana bibbati swargapavarga narkesha api tulyata darshinaha. Because he is fixed, Bhagavatam 6:17-28. Because he is fixed in devotional service, a devotee does not regard any position in this material world as important. Srila Prabhupada and Saraswati has therefore written Chaitanya Chandramrit 5. What's the tone of the?
Try that meter. So Kaivalyam Narakayate Tridasha.
Aksha Pushpayate Durdantendriya Kana Sarpa Patalai Proktaha Damshayate Vishwam Purna Sukhayate Vidhi Mahendradashcha Kitayate Yat Karunya Kataksha Vaibhav. Sorry, I forgot the tone. Okay. Yat Vivavatam Tam Gauram Eva Stumaha. For one who becomes a pure devotee through devotional service to great personalities like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kaivalya, or merging into Brahman, appears no better than hell. As far as the heavenly planets are concerned, to a devotee, they are like a phantasmagoria or will-o'-the-wisp. And far as yogic perfection is concerned, a devotee does not care a fig for such perfection, since the purpose of yogic perfection is achieved automatically by the devotee. This is all possible when one becomes a devotee of the Lord through the medium of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions. Thank you.
So the same point is said quoting from the Shastra. So the previous verse is Narayana para sarve na kutaschana bibhyati. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 17th chapter, text 28. So a devotee gives no importance to going to Swarga, or a devotee does not regard any position in the material world as important, whether it is going to Swarga or going to Naraka. Somebody who's on the material platform, he thinks Swarga is better than Naraka, isn't it? Instead of going to hell, we should go to Swarga. It's more comfortable. But a pure devotee, whether it is Swarga or Naraka, makes no difference. His only focus is wherever he can render devotional service, that is the best place. Materially, whether it is comfortable or not comfortable, it's of no significance to him. So that is that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. The same point is now substantiated with proof from Shastra. Then this is by Srila Prabhupada and the Saraswati. Again, here a devotee gives no importance to the results obtained by following jnana. What is the result of jnana? You'll get kaivalya, you'll go and merge into Brahman. He thinks that is hellish. Then what is the goal achieved by yoga? You get yogic siddhis. He doesn't give any importance to that. And karma, what is the result of karma? You go to Swarga. He thinks that is phantasmagoria, will-o'-the-wisp. What is will-o'-the-wisp? In Sanskrit, you would say Akasha Pushpa. There's nothing like Akasha Pushpa. No flowers are coming in the sky. So happiness in Swarga is like Akasha Pushpa. There is no happiness. It's just imagination. It's just Maya. Right? It feels like happiness, but there is no happiness. Again, you're back to this world. So devotee gives no importance to any of these results coming from jnana, yoga or karma. That's the point. Okay. Next is Saujanya Mataji. Sri Shuka Uvacha Athambarishasthanayeshu Rajyam Samanashileshu Visrijya Dhiraha Vanam Viveshatmani Vasudeve Manodadhadhasta Guna Pravaha. Translation.
Translation. Srila Sukadeva Goswami continued, thereafter, because of his advanced position in devotional life, Maharaj Ambarisha, who no longer desired to live with material things, retired from active family life. He divided his property among his sons, who were equally as qualified, and he himself took the order of Vanaprastha and went to the forest to concentrate his mind fully upon Lord Vasudeva. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So again, this is Ambarish Maharaj is playing the role of a Kshatriya. For a pure devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Oh, one more thing about what Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati said. Which devotee will consider all these things insignificant? That devotee who is following Bhakti path according to the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Such a devotee will consider all these results by karma, jnana, yoga to be insignificant. That's one point there. So coming to this verse, Ambarish Maharaj is playing the role of a king. Kshatriyas have 3 ashrams: Brahmacharya, Grihastha and Vanaprastha. Brahmanas have 4 ashrams in their lifetime: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. Vaishyas have only 2 ashrams: Brahmacharya and Grihastha, no Vanaprastha. Shudras have only 1 ashram, only Grihastha, no Brahmacharya also. Then, but Lord Chaitanya says, I am neither Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. I am only a servant of the husband of the gopis, Krishna. Then, why Ambarish Maharaj is taking, he ruled the kingdom and now he is taking Vanaprastha? We understand, even when one becomes a pure devotee, Yadyad acharati shreshtas tattat evetaro jana. Sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Whatever actions a great man performs, common men follow. Whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, the whole world pursues. So, just in order to set a proper example for everyone, proper example means they have not entered into pure devotional service yet. then they have to do their duties according to the Vedic system. Whatever duties are there for a Kshatriya, Kshatriya should follow that duty. By following that duty and side by side cultivating devotional service, Shraddha, then finally, when you enter into pure devotional service, you may give up. You're not required to do these duties. Ambarish Maharaj is not required to do these duties. Nevertheless, he does those duties to set an example for others. So Ambarish Maharaj, after this, he retired from his active, Kshatriya life as a ruler, and he divided his kingdom amongst his sons who were equally qualified as him. And then he took Vanaprastha. Purport. So Mataji, Achit Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
As a pure devotee, Maharaj Ambarish was liberated in any condition of life because, as enunciated by Srila Rupa Goswami, a devotee is always liberated. Iha yasya haridasi. I'm trying. Iha yasya haridasi karmana manasangira nikila swa abhi avastasu jivan mukta savachyati. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami thus instructs that if one's only desire is service to the Lord, he is liberated in any condition of life. Maharaj Ambarish was undoubtedly liberated in any condition, but as an ideal king, he accepted the Vanaprastha order of retirement from family life. It is essential for one to renounce family responsibilities and fully concentrate on the lotus feet of Vasudeva. Therefore, Maharaj Ambarish divided the kingdom among his sons and retired from family life. Thank you, Mataji.
So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada makes it clear that Ambarish Maharaj is liberated in any condition. It's not that he's in Grihastha ashram, so he's entangled, so therefore he has to give up so that he can be free from that entanglement. This does not apply to those who are already liberated, those who are pure devotees. This doesn't apply to them. Even Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, this is also not on the transcendental platform. Nevertheless, when one follows this system, it will bring him closer, right? It's a favorable ground. It's a favorable ground to cultivate pure devotional service. That's why. So, for himself, he was already liberated, even as a Grihastha. But because he's an ideal king means he's setting the ideal, he's setting the example. So, therefore, he gave up his kingdom, entered into Vanaprastha life. So, maybe we can stop here. I don't know how many slokas there are in this chapter. Let me see. Oh, 2 more. But anyway, we'll continue tomorrow. It's okay. There's no need to. Everyone has read today. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all so much for cooperating. I joined late. I'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sonia Mataji, I'm still not able to hear you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, you couldn't read today.